am someone from someone's past. I'm just going to speak really vaguely so I don't screw up. But there is a lot to reveal. And the first time you see my character is episode 3, which I believe they talked about at Comic-Con. It's like a special episode, so hopefully y'all will dig it.
And Sheila, or no, Erica.
Hi, good morning, thanks for coming. As you know, True Blood is one of those shows that nudity is a way of life. In past panels, when they talked about it, they talked about the concentration that they had to have to be able to work in close proximity with somebody else's, naked or whatever. But they didn't mention anything where they had any, lapses in concentration and just started busting up. Have any of you experienced that?
You want the dirt.
Yeah. I like it. And it's like the second, it's not even 10:30 yet. This dude's like, tell me about the nudity.
And the lapse of concentration.
I love how, he tried to be as classy as possible. Commendable.
Thank you all for coming. What's it like to see each other naked?
I think there's some of us who are freer than others.
Why are you looking at me, first of all?
No, I'm not looking. I don't mean that to be you. There's a specific person that I'm thinking of.
Oh,
yes.
There is a scale of freedom, for sure.
A certain person who just walks around. They're good. They don't care. It's kind of awesome. It's great.
Yeah, I want to know who that is.
I think everybody knows who that is now.
Woo! Yes. Woo! Keep going. I think it's fine. We have to have a certain, respect for each other and a certain, sense of professionalism when we're working with each other. And we're such a big family on the show that we don't think nothing of it. It's just like, we just do our jobs and then, we go home. There's definitely, boundaries. You talk about the scene so you know what you're doing, what you're touching, what you're kissing, but everything is kind of planned out. But then you also have freedom in that, so that's not stale, you know what I mean? But it's, it's fun. Nudity comes with the show.
I wouldn't call it fun.
Well, maybe I'm calling it fun because I have yet to.
Yeah, maybe.
Do the full Monty.
I haven't done it yet.
But you and I have both been in situations where there have been many other people very naked around us, right? Were you guys involved with because
I was in the orgy madness.
You were in the orgy madness.
But there was some orgy madness. Right, where there are all kinds of people in the background, and
some high-ass vampires.
Yeah.
That's what they just keep putting you in this extra that goes on. The extra! Woo! Bring it on! Because I wasn't there.
I've only had the privilege of being naked with Mr. Chris Bauer and Ned once, and that's been the extent of my nudity on the show.
How was
I
that?
didn't have to show anything. But two things struck me about it. One is how normal it, we were literally just, in between takes, talking about public school versus private, very mundane, our spouses, our kids, and drinking our coffee. Literally, I forgot who was, I think Daniel Minham was the director. He was watching this is a whole new post-coital you guys have going on. But the thing that really struck me was the sock, you guys, it has a little bow on. It's worse than, just be naked. We've all seen them before.
Yeah, it's almost
the
more
sock
awkward.
is really, the bow's gotta go. They gotta find.
Yeah. You have to have some elastic to make it stay as nice, I guess.
And then, but see, they get elastic, and we get the double-sided sticky tape for the snatch patch.
Also not.
I love Anna P. for calling it the snatch patch. I think that's...
Snatch patch, I love it.
Hawk socks and snatch patches. That's what it is. I had a day when you snort, don't snort. Have you ever done Have you ever had to do this business?
The sock thing is the most degrading thing.
It's bad. It's bad.
Tell us.
Would you rather?
So they bring in a platter of socks, so you choose.
picked the biggest one.
Costumes, if somebody brought in a platter with like a velvet.
Yeah, like when you know how you go get engagement rings and
Absolutely,
it's like,
that's absolutely what they
here are your
do.
choices.
And there were 3 varieties of socks laid out. One with, straps, one with a cinch thing, and then one from there to there. No exaggeration. So if you don't pick the 4-foot fucking sock, then you feel like a jerk. So I agree. I would just rather go naked. It would be less humiliating to be naked.
This is the best panel ever.
Thank you for that question.
Thank you.
Sheila.
Good morning. Welcome to Atlanta. My question is for all of y'all. Because even in True Blood, if you're dead or in Alaska, you may come back. You never know. For the next season, where would you like to see your characters go if it was entirely up to you?
Straight to bed with Eric.
Amen.
Straight to bed with Eric. Jim?
Yeah, why not?
Well, I'm curious definitely to see what's going to happen with me and my mother. But I'd actually like to see Tara have a relationship that doesn't go sour. I miss Sam, but that's probably not going to happen because it's weird, probably a shifter and a vampire, but that could be interesting. But I miss her having something like some sense of stability and like love in her life. She really adores Pam. She really, really does. But I just feel like that's just not gonna. I don't know if that's gonna happen. So, just kind of sad.
Pam has some intimacy issues. I don't know
Right.
if you guys picked up on that.
And she's in love with that, with Eric.
Yes,
so.
of course. I'd love to get back to some of Holly's Wiccan ways. I've been asked everyone's like, so, sort of throughout the season, well, are we going to see any more witchcraft? And I knew the answer was no, but I couldn't say it. So I was like, well, she's focusing more on her personal relationship. Which has been great, and I certainly love playing with the divine Mr. Chris Bauer, so I hope that continues to blossom. But it would be fun to sort of get a little Wiccan-y on your all asses.
You just want to sleep with Eric. That's right.
Straight to bed with Eric. No, I'm just kidding. I really love the forecast for this next season and the relationship between humans and vampires, and obviously Ginger's totally signed up for that. But I'd love to see more of Ginger's personal love life, and all joking aside.
Does she remember any of it?
I think she has a whole very strange day life. Yeah, when she's not at Fantasia, and I'd like to see some more of that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I don't know if Luna's dead. I think she is. I'm pretty sure she is, because nobody's called me. So, but I'm also not waiting around for the call. If for some reason she woke up and she was like, now you're a mayor and you're a dad, that's great for you, Sam. So, if she woke up and had to kind of deal with wherever he was at, I would love to see that. But I don't know. I was just like, nobody buried her. She just did she decompose on the ground? I try not to think too much about it because also I found out I was gonna die way before I did. So I was okay. I was so okay with it. I didn't even think I was gonna get through one season, y'all. I was like, none of Sam's girls make it. So I'm definitely not making it until the end of the season. And then they were like, oh, you're coming back. And I was like, oh, I'm definitely not making it to the end of the second season. So I'm so happy already. So anything else would just be icing.
Like I already said.
Yeah, you said it. Okay, great. Next question.
All right, Erica.
All right, please forgive me. I haven't seen the last 3 episodes.
Asshole.
I'm gonna turn this back on you. I'm a soldier and I was deployed.
Well played, sir. Well played.
Seriously though, I guess when I started watching the show, I really identified with Bill Compton's. I'm sorry, this is a question for everybody, and it's gonna take a minute, sorry. But she owes me, so. But when I first started watching the show, you had Bill Compton kind of struggling with his humanity versus vampire side, and it just seems like and I was right there with him. I'm like, oh, vampires are kind of like people too. But it's just with every season, it just seems like I'm having less and less empathy for any of the vampire characters. And I'm just wondering, is that something like you were talking about public and private school? Like, is that something the actors get together and be like, yeah, vampires are kind of dicks? I don't know. I'm just wondering if any of y'all, especially since, a lot, if not all these characters have been affected by vampires in some way, if there's some kind of, maybe something you're bringing up to the writers or the producers or, I don't know, if you could pull anything from that, just,
I always feel like, if I can just jump in, since Ginger is a fang banger and a vampire groupie, I sort of feel like I work for a rock star, so it's like working for Mick Jagger. And I believe the vampires are in their ego stage at the moment, but I think they may come back. There's still, a whole arc there. They've just been, overrun with a little bit too much popularity or something. It went straight to their head.
I always think it's interesting to watch. To me, like, there's still their thread of humanity that's in them, and it's in constant battle with their desires. Like, watching Jessica this year, I think genuinely feel bad for killing Andy's daughters. But in the moment, she couldn't control herself. So sort of seeing them give in and then sort of the human part of them deal with the after effect of whatever actions they've taken. To me, that's an interesting struggle that's sort of relatable to all, because we all are sort of have our will and what we would like to do and then what we end up doing. So, I don't know, I think that's what you play one. What do you think?
I feel like Tara's less of an asshole now. That she's a vampire. Like, that Tara's less of an asshole. Like, I feel like I've seen her deal with her shit more as a vampire than she did when she was walking around as a human.
Yeah, I would agree. And I also think, Tara still has that struggle of being a human, her human emotions and how she feels versus her, the instincts of being just a vampire. I think she struggles with that too. I don't know.
Well, Tara hasn't been a vampire that long. Do you think if she's a vampire longer, she's going to get more amoral, more...
I don't know, because she was turned against her will, so I don't know if she'll ever kind of... she's starting to relax into that a bit. She has to. She has no choice. Or go to another tanning bed and try to kill herself. I think, she's... she's going to have to deal with it, and I think she's happy with it, but I also think there's something about it that I think she misses being a human. Because there's so many constant reminders. You have Suki, I have a mom, I have people coming up, people in my life that remind me of my old sort of self.
Yeah.
But I think she really digs the power and the strength of being a vampire and, the things that she can do. Like if someone hauls out at the mouth, with some racist comments, you can just throw them across the room, and that's hilarious. And she's like, "What? And what? Now what you got to say?" You know what I mean? It's just, and I love that. And I think she likes that too. So.
Do you think she's going to be closer to Suki in this upcoming season?
Yeah, I would like to get back to that. I miss working with Amy. I think that relationship is very important, actually, because you saw the two of them together from the beginning as sisters, as best friends. We grew up together. And then, she basically tried to save my life, so to speak. And we never really, I feel like we didn't really have enough, we still haven't had enough of a like, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what happened and why you did that and, you know, sort of. But I think Tara's kind of forgiven her. I'm also interested to see her and Lafayette and have that talk too, because he was actually the one who brought it up. But, you know, I hope we get back to that. That would be nice to have something like that.
Well, and briefly, first, thank you for your service. And also, having sort of fallen in love with a vampire, I think they're pretty fucked up, because I tried to really say in the beginning, hey, they're like other people and everything else, and the show is proving as it unfolds that they're not. It doesn't mean that there aren't good ones, I guess, but it seems like they're pretty good at messing things up for people, at least. So I guess if you like people, it might be hard to like them.
Well, now, I mean, there's the alliance. Everybody's going to have to pick one, right? So there's going to have to be some really real understanding, some kind of alliance. And not just sort of like a, we're all going to be okay. It's a one-on-one relationship kind of thing, right? It's like a new spouse almost. So, I don't know, we have to deal with it.
Having to deal with people that you have nothing in common with, you know, and you don't want to hang out with them, and yet you have to. But just, that's where the real heart of the story comes. That's why I think so much of Alan's real, like, talents lie in that sweet spot of, it's definitely not easy, but those are human things that.
It's all social commentary.
Exactly, yeah.
Did you guys vote for Janina to be on the card this year, or?
That's really nice of you, by the way. Which one am I, the dragon or the chick?
Snatch patch.
Snatch patch. It's a lovely snatch patch.
That's about right, actually.
Sheila!
Hi guys, it's my first Dragon Con too, so.
Welcome.
So excited to be here and see you guys, so thank you for being here. My question is, as a fan of the show and watching it evolve, the last couple of seasons it's really been like different storylines happening at the same time. And Tara, you kind of touched on this, or I'm sorry, Rutina, you touched on this. You haven't really had the relationship with other characters. When you guys are all together, I love it, and when everything is kind of happening at the same time with your all storylines, like it kind of happened at the end. I think we're going to see, it seems to me like they're all coming back together, and it's going to be like we're all going to work together again, because it's really been kind of separated. How has that been for you these past couple of seasons? Like, are you in the read-throughs and you're like, oh, that's going on with you? Oh my gosh, I had no idea. Has that kind of been the dynamic with you guys these past couple of seasons, and are you happy that it's going to be all together again?
I think I know. I am, actually, because I miss working with everybody. I miss seeing everyone's face at work. We usually don't get to see each other until the table reads.
Yeah.
And that's the exciting part for me, because then I get to hear, you know, my fellow actors kind of read their parts. I know what they're going to do, and then we just go off on our own kind of things, and I don't see it until the finished product. So it's been weird. It has been sort of a lot of balls in the air and kind of all over. But I think what's been great about that is, for the most part, I think everyone has had a really great arc through that. Everyone's gotten a really great little thing to sort of challenge them and work on. And it hasn't just been about one person. I mean, I kind of looked at it the last couple of seasons as like an ensemble show. I still look at it as an ensemble show, where we all get to do something, you know, great with our characters. We don't just get to sit in the background. And I like that Alan and then now Bucky is sort of keeping that going. So.
I know, I'm super excited, because I feel like, because I came on season 3, and so that division had sort of already was in place, so there's lots of people I haven't worked with. So I'm super, because I have the same experience as Rutina, where you really just sort of see people at the table read, and then you go off and each do your own little movie. So yeah, I can't wait to sort of see how this is coming together. And I think it just makes for just much better drama. There's just so many more possibilities for all kinds of cross mixes to happen.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I mean, you know, for the longest time, for the most part, I work with Kristen and Alex, and yet, if I think back to season 1, I've actually, every season I do sort of get, you know, Lafayette or Anna, or, you know, like,
Little moments.
like little moments, yeah. So it has been great, but they're, you know, like they said, the only time I see anyone really outside of those two is at a table read. So
Or panels.
or panels, right? Or like somewhere random. So it is fun to have a chance to actually work with.
I remembered I was on the lot last year for something, and I saw Bucky, and I was like, "How's it going, Captain?" And he was like, "They're calling me Machete," because there's so many people died. He must have just been like, like mercilessly. So, which is great though, because it's going, and everybody's going to have to deal with each other, and that's fun.
Erica.
Hello again. As a vampire, your powers and your strength.
I thought he was speaking about himself. As a vampire, I feel that. I was like, oh shit.
As a vampire.
This is the day they come out of the coffin.
I am a big fan
Peggy
of vampires. I'm a big fan of vampires. I've seen practically every vampire movie in existence. And vampires have always been strong, powerful, and egotistical. And the reason for it is because of that like godlike complex, because they couldn't be killed, not normally. So, but their greatest power was their anonymity. No one knew who they were. They just scoffed it off like there's no such thing. So no one was prepared. But now in this day and age, like Tara's character, or the character Tara, is a brand new vampire in an age where she's not so safe. She's not so powerful as she was before. And now we have to find common ground. Now, how do you feel about what kind of common ground between the vampires and, or I guess the differences, the shapeshifters, vampires? How do you feel that the show might progress towards an inequality, so to speak, between the different races?
Just sort of like, how is it going to go towards humans and vampires sort of kind of mingling together? Is that what you're?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, sooner or later, you know, you have to reach a certain equality, or you have a war and you kill each other. I mean, that's nature.
Well, yeah, they need each other, right? So, just the necessity of, like, it's survival, right?
Yeah, I think now it seems like probably maybe they need us as much as we're going to need them.
My question is, do you